Hello and good day. What's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am currently at the venue of Tiba Academy, the same venue where we have primer languages. We share the same office space. Yeah, right. Okay, so today I'm talking about how I got penalized with about 4 million naira from the Nigerian tax authorities. Yes, that's an equivalent of about, I think, slightly above 4,000 US dollars currently. Yes, I never knew it to happen to me, but it did happen to me. And I'll tell you why as we go on this video. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, click on the notification bell, like and share our videos with your friends and family. And in during the course of this video, let me know if you've had this experience before. Have you ever had this experience before? Have you had challenges with filing your tax and had to be penalized by the Nigerian tax authorities or tax authorities from your own country in any other part of the world? Yes, recently with the new administration, I keep saying this, the new administration is nothing like the previous administration. A lot of things have changed, especially in my city, Abuja. I'm currently working and living in Abuja. Abuja has changed, yes. The tax plans have changed. CAC has changed a lot of things. They now have new rules, new sanctions, and new regulations. Even the traffic authorities, the FRSC, are now up on their game. You hardly see traffic wardens anywhere. Now we have traffic lights on almost every major street or road in Abuja. And if you beat the traffic lights, you would have to pay at least, I think, 20,000 naira, which should be, that should be, I don't know, that should be how much in USD. Maybe you can let me know in the comment section. All right, so, but 20,000 naira is a lot of money. Yes, it's a lot of money in this part of the world. So per traffic lights you beat, you pay that amount. And even parking, where you park, you don't just park without checking if that place is designated for a parking lot or a parking section. If you do, you will be penalized. The list is endless. The FCT is trying to raise funds for the administration, and I think they are doing very well. Okay, now back to the topic of discussion, how I got a penalty of 4 million naira from two tax agencies regulated by the Nigerian government. Yes, it happened to me. If you are not aware, as at 2 or 3 weeks ago, the FIRS made an announcement stating that it's giving taxpayers a period of time to file their taxes and avoid paying any penalties. Yes. And most people have taken this very serious and have tried to file their taxes. Some have not. Now, in this part of the world, we are not used to this kind of information. Yes, we are not used to it. Many people don't pay their taxes. Sorry to say, but that's just the truth. And even those who pay or who want to pay do not know how to go about it. So my small business in my small hidden corner was given a penalty of about 4 million naira by the FIRS and the IRS, which is now under Abuja. Now, what happened? I've tried to file my taxes before for my company, but the procedure was so cumbersome and confusing. I even went to the tax office, and I would like to use opportunity to reach out to the Nigerian tax authorities to please make the process easier and understandable for individuals and small organizations. There is no proper arrangements on how this can be done. There's no explanation. When you go to their offices, nobody is willing to give you the information that you need. When you go to their websites, you can't get sufficient information, and even what you get is so confusing. There are a lot of terms, a lot of acronyms, you don't know the meaning, and you don't even know how much you are to pay, what percentage you are to pay, how to calculate it. So in this situation, I would advise, whether you're a small business, medium-sized business, or large business, to get an auditor. When you have an auditor, your auditor acts like your lawyer. Like when you have a lawyer and you have a case, okay? Your lawyer is going to look at everything required for you to avoid getting into trouble. He will look at the law, look at what you have done, and try to marry everything together and advise you. So your legal advisor or your lawyer is in the position to advise you on what steps to take to avoid going to jail, right? That is how an auditor also works. So most people are scared of auditors. If, oh, an auditor is going to charge me a lot of money. Well, yes, they charge some appreciable amount of money, but it is really, really worth it. The amount of stress you go through, the funds you would lose if you don't have an auditor is nothing compared to what you are going to pay them. An auditor would now advise you on further rules or further steps to take to file your other taxes. If you are not aware, there are several taxes you have to pay as a company and even as an individual. But on the side of a company, you are supposed to do your VAT, the company tax, your payee. Your payee is your pay as you earn, which is for your employees. Your employees are supposed to be paying a certain amount from their salaries. That amount is calculated based on their annual earning. So the auditor will calculate it. They are earning, let's say, the threshold, the minimum threshold is about 300,000 naira annually. And as their salary increases, the percentage that will be charged on their annual tax also increases. Yeah. So what this means is that you will need to calculate this amount and deduct it from your employees' um, salary before you make payments. Now, one thing that you need to know is that as long as you have an NIN, which is your NIN, your BVN, you can be traced anywhere. Okay, so there's nowhere to hide. I will not even advise you to hide from tax authorities. Paying your tax is good. There are lots of benefits you could get from paying your tax. Apart from being able to apply for government contracts, you're also helping your country or your community to grow. The country needs this money to provide the basic social amenities that is you enjoy when you go to Europe, when you see there's power supply, there's water, there's security. Well, a lot of this money comes from your taxes. So please pay your taxes. I'm not here to tell you, oh, run away from paying your taxes. No. What I'm just here to let you know is that when you need to pay your taxes, if you don't know how to file it, you will end up paying more than you're supposed to pay. There are some exemptions that are given to you depending on the kind of service you are running. Like if you are running an educational outfit, you get some tax exemptions. Yeah. Then if you are earning, your profit per annum is less than a particular amount, yes, you get some exemptions. So all these things will not be made known to you. From what I found out, at the tax office, they don't even tell you all of this. Just tell you, oh, file your taxes. They assume that you already know what to do, and they tell you, oh, file your taxes and collect your tax certificate at the end of the year. We'll come for inspection and all of that. Okay, so this is how it happened. Okay, I tried to file my taxes some years ago. It didn't work out. I tried again. It didn't work out. So at a point, I forgot about it. I just felt, okay, when it's time, whenever they come, I'll just file and I'll pay, right? And finally, they came. That was October last year. I just had my baby and I was on a leave. I was on a maternity leave. Unfortunately, I was contacted and told to be present for them to do their rounds to check. I could not come out at that. Maybe it was still very small. So I asked to be given some more time. When my leave is over, then I come and I meet them and find out what they really wanted. When I saw what they gave me a bill of 1.2 million something. My auditor Okay, so what my auditor did was to approach the tax office and look at ways on how the issue could be resolved. At the end of the day, I paid lesser than that. I was able to still pay my tax, quite all right. I paid lesser. What I found out later on was that I won't have even paid anything because our profit was way lesser than what was required. There were some other things that I got waivers for. I had a lot of waivers based on the kind of service I was running. So those waivers from the government would have covered me. So even if I had to pay anything, it wouldn't have been more than maybe 10 or 15,000 naira, maybe per annum. And I ended up paying 10 times that amount. Okay. So the next one came about when it came to payee. The IRS under the FCT contacted me asking for pay. I didn't even know what payee was. I imagine I didn't know what payee was. I've heard payee means pay as you earn, but I did not know what it was all about. I was not aware that I was supposed to be deducting this amount every month since inception of our organization, since we started our work, of course. And I had to pay. But most of the staff that we had 5 years ago, 6 years ago, had already moved to other organizations. Some had married and changed location. So they still had, I still had to pay their tax. I could not contact them, of course, to ask them to pay. They had moved on. And it's not a small amount of money. Minus the penalty. Penalty was about 500,000 naira per year that you missed filing those taxes. So 500 times 4 was now making 2 million. The other one was about 1 point something million. Plus the taxes that I was due for to pay was running to about 4 million naira. Not an easy feat, okay? So if you want to know how I was able to get out of this, please contact me directly. I'm available. You can let me know in the comment section below if you've had this experience before. How were you able to get out of it? And if you've not had the experience before, what do you do in your own country when or your own part of Nigeria when you need to file your taxes? What I just discovered, what I learned from this, and one of my 15 big mistakes when I made when I opened my business is that taxes are important. And now I think everybody needs to even have a team. If you are working, yes, most organizations organize for the tax authorities to come and register their staff for their team. Okay, the TIN. The TIN number is what gives you. It's like your BVN or your NIN. It's your own identity that helps them to put your taxes under your name. So if you are not filing your taxes or you don't have a TIN or a TIN, there are a lot of benefits you will not get as a Nigerian. Lots and lots of benefits. Okay. I remember there was a time we had an administration that said if you were not paying your taxes, you won't be allowed to vote. You will not be allowed to even run for a public office. This is just a little out of what you could lose. The worst part of it is that you could even go to jail for evading tax or for not paying your tax. In countries like the US, the UK, we've heard of popular musicians or football stars being sentenced to jail for not paying their taxes or being given a very hefty fine. Some of them even go bankrupt because of the issue. So tax filing is not something difficult, but it can be difficult if you don't know how to do it. And at the end of the day, you might not even pay so much as tax. Like in Nigeria, I think our tax should be currently payee is between 3% or I would put the details in the comment section anyway. I would have to check because every tax has its own percentage. But even VAT is just 7.5%. In most countries, it's way higher than that. So in Nigeria, it's still a bit fair for you to do all of that. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this video. I'm so glad to see that if you got to the end of this video till this time, it means you enjoyed it. I would like to see your like, like the content, and let me know what you think too. Have you ever had this problem before? Because I really want to know how you're able to handle it. Mine, I was so blown over. I was so emotional. I was crying. I was just embarrassed because usually I'm not that kind of person. I do not owe, I don't borrow. I try to keep my finances up to date. So when I saw it, like, what is all of this? Like, when did I even owe this amount of money? What did I do? I tried to. At first, I was angry, I was upset, but later when I listened to what my auditor said, I saw that it was actually my fault. If I could not get information from their office, I could have reached out to an auditor. So the auditor that helped me was amazing. Really, 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 really amazing. First Integrated Services Limited, yes. Was an amazing auditor. He put me through a lot of things, a lot of explanations. At a point, I felt I was even disturbing him, but he was willing to answer all my questions. All right, so this brings us to the end of this video. See you in my next content. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel because we have a lot of content for you on how to manage your business. This is just week 2. Week 1 was about creating a business plan. Week 2 is about auditing and tax filing. Week 3 is about budgeting and financing. So we have a lot. We even have a particular week that is for how to market your business on social media, how to do your optimization, hashtags, and all. Instead of paying somebody to do all of this and not even getting results, you can do it by yourself. How will you get to do all of this if you are not a member of this channel? All right, so see you in our next video. Bye.